Hello everyone, and welcome to my Days of Our Lives Today channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Days of Our Lives is preparing us for some potentially terrible baby drama, while also rushing to the conclusion of Abe's fight with one or two unexpected twists. This week made me feel pretty darn good thanks to some good character beats and some unexpected pairings. Daddy mishap. Brady, I don't recommend Rachel if it's just for fun. However, Rachel deserves praise for making Brady's life miserable and reporting him to the police. Always having more fun than dumb Brady is dark Brady. Brady, I apologize, but you aren't always the brightest tool in the Salem shed. Threats and acts of violence from Kristen are much more welcome than his whining. Whatever you may think of Rachel, she saw her dad point a gun at her mother. That's terrifying and definitely traumatizing. She did well to know to dial 911 for assistance. I've heard a lot of folks complain about how badly Kristen has damaged Rachel, but as others have noted, Kristen has been absent for a significant portion of Rachel's life. Grady may not be the best father because he did the majority of the raising. I mean, he tried to gaslight Kristen in front of Jabba after threatening her in front of his child. I don't own a firearm. When he went home, he placed it in that drawer. All right, Rachel. Talk the truth. Brady at least opted to admit his mistake after subsequently feeling horrible about it. While trying to get rid of Kristen, I for one hope he continues down the dark Brady route and sinks into the muck with her. But at this point, perhaps John and Marlena ought to assume custody, as long as Marlena and Satin's third attempt doesn't succeed. In relation to that, when Days of Our Lives revealed that Whitley would bring back the Mardival narrative to torture us once more, my initial reaction was no, never again. Lord, deliver us. It's not a horrible twist, though, as I realized after giving it some more attention. At least Whitley's completely absurd scheme to maintain a drugged-up Abby for all time does not depend solely on her being completely insane. The devil was loose for a while. And even though we could one day get past merely mentioning this happened years ago, comments, it did happen, and there are now repercussions. It was wise of Satin to prepare for Whitley's absence by using Mardival to confuse him. And while I still don't like how dragged out this has been, I did notice Whitley's reasoning began to sound more pitiably irrational than infuriatingly absurd. While Lonnie's situation does not appear to be favorable, Sod foreshadows that she will be saved just in time, bringing the good men to Whitley's door, or the location Whitley is at that point. I anticipate that this will be finished by the next week. And after everything is over, I'm expecting that there will be a power struggle in Salem between a recovering Abe and his acting mayor deputy, who won't want to see the authority he's wrested. That will be a welcome departure from the recent psychos the Price Carvers have encountered and keep the plot of Abe and Paulina going forward. Never baby. I'm sorry, but I cannot support Sloane's transformation into a baby maniac, and I find it difficult to support the notion that she is currently pregnant. However, I will concede that their dual pregnancies, possibly both with Eric's child, could make for a lovely, terrible disaster. If they were both carrying his child, which one would Eric pick? If obliged to raise siblings alongside Eric, how would they prevent killing one another? This might be enjoyable. However, I can also see a route out of this that would lead to Sloane returning to being more of a solo act once more. Because the show may pull a surprise and have Sloane lose her baby instead of Nicole. They've also created the terrifying potential that Sloane would go to great efforts to have a child with Eric in order to tether Eric to her. If Sloane miscarries the child, she can steal Nicole's and EJ or Eric's and say that their child didn't survive. We keep hearing how dangerous this is and how frightened Nicole is about losing the child. On the one hand, it would make the ideal cover, but on the other, this is returning to Sydney/Grace territory, and unavoidably depressed Eric once more, unless Nicole's child turns out to be his, in which case he can keep the infant as a comfort child. Pristine moments. This week, I noticed a few character touches. This week, Nicole and EJ were endearing as they discussed the baby's sex and made an effort to keep their words to themselves. After that came Johnny. His encounter with Talia was long overdue, and he's probably certainly returning to Channel. He bristled a little at her, but warned her before letting her go, while emphasizing how much he cared for Chanel. He was the ideal person to inform Rafe of all that had been happening with Nicole, because he and Rafe together are always a good use of history. Although it was a little unexpected that he was unaware of her pregnancy, it makes sense given that not everyone in a community is constantly spreading rumors about one another. I'm also interested to know where Dimitri is going. I'm certain he's using Leo, but it's not just that. Kristen blackmailed her way into his riches. After you're just using to keep someone quiet, you don't smile like he did after Lee left. He had other options, like paying Leo back. Dimitri is instead attempting to have both his cake and his cake. But how long can he continue like this? Please excuse the pun. There is no way he can stay married to Gwen for the length of time it will take him to receive his money, even if he makes it to the altar, unless she is also involved and is prepared to stick it out for a share of the money. Random thoughts. Asterisk EJ, is Dimitri a fox in a henhouse? Are you serious? What about a fox in a den of wolves? Asterisk, I laughed when I heard Gabby criticize Lee for embellishing his dating profile while pointing a gun at him. Asterisk, so, is Alex now a hot Kramer? Does that imply that Stephanie Seinfeld tolerated his weird interfering even though no one in their right mind would continue to do so? Asterisk, Paulina criticizing Rafe's investigative abilities and bringing up his disappearance was a wonderful little drop to get us ready for Philip's return since we already know he's coming back. Since Kate died twice and the secret was revealed to Victor, Kate, and Ronan, we have been gradually building to this. Asterisk, Jada is the SPD's sole active officer at the moment, so I sincerely hope she is appointed commissioner. Sorry, Rafe, not sorry.